Portugal. There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Boy, that was loud. Hola, bom dia, alegria. Montenegro with the Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and the Portugal Club, where we're going to pop. Antonio F has been busy over there, and we haven't had a look at the Portuguese sayings for quite some time, as well as a few other inclusions and contributions from Antonio F, including a rather bulging crime file. He painstakingly adds to the crime file list over there, criminal facts in Portugal. That thread. He's been busy over there. My goodness, Portuguese sayings of the day, over 700 now, and criminal facts, as you might expect, over 600. He's been recording those for quite a long time. We are still relatively safe here in Portugal, as I discovered when I spoke to David Thomas yesterday of Safe Communities Portugal. What a lovely conversation that was. And I got quite a few lined up with some great people. Talking to an Eric Roth, who's a bit of a photographer, not a bit, very accomplished photographer, an excellent fella. Who I'll be talking to after the show today. So quite a few, actually, quite a few Resi articles lining up. And the possibility of talking to a certain Tova Lee, who I believe is also among us here in Portugal. And, well, author, comedian, and some very risque material. If you look up Tova Lee, Tovaleighh. Should we see if we can find one or two quotes from Tova? Let's have a look. Right, I just some of these aren't jokes. some of these are something else. Internalized misogyny. Hold on a minute. Wish brilliant women had the yes. Okay, I think probably leapt into that a little bit too quickly. I was looking for some jokes there. She has some hard hitting views on the world as well. Ah, cool. My thoughts about stuff, I believe, is her work, which you can find over on Instagram, I'm thinking, as well. So yeah, take a look. Tova Lee, if you can find something amusing for us this morning, Tovaleighh. She clearly has some other interesting things to say about life and society as well. And there's a lot of material around at the moment about life and society, is there not? We're going to try and help our Spanish neighbours this morning after the news that came in yesterday. Oh, thank you, T-Duck, about Sarah and Heather there. Thank you for your comments that are coming in, and footage and pictures on 913-590-303. Nice one, Coach. Some very spring-like imagery this morning. That's what we want to see at the moment. And also a beautiful spot, I think. Where are you exactly? Where are you skiing at the moment? That's Chamonix, isn't it? I think where you find yourself, Coach, which is France, is it not? Okay. Yes, so keep them coming in. 913-590-303. The scheduled show, this slot, and I suspected this might happen, given how we manage this sort of stuff, apart from the most diligent and disciplined of people. This is the off-grid club slot. Not a great deal to say. I will update you on my progress, and I feel quite pleased, actually, with pride comes before a fall, of course. But since the storms and the prompt of the Apagao, always meant to get an off-grid broadcasting system. I think we've got it, basically, and I'll run through that, and you can check it with me to see if we are now able to broadcast without a connection to the grid. The traditional internet, or some of the more traditional internet connections as well, have been challenged by my Starlink, as well as the Bluetti connecting us to a power source, which we're on at the moment. It's really good. And what I'm particularly impressed by, and we'll come back to this in a little while, is the uninterrupted power supply aspect. So if I'm plugged in via the Bluetti and there's a little bit of a drop, just some of those little drops you get in Portuguese power supply that can just kill your computer off, and then the lights, it's almost imperceivable, but it's enough to kill off your computer that you're working on, and then the lights come back on very quickly. They flash almost. That is handled by the Bluetti in my power chain system back up here. So we'll talk more about that, and please share as well your experience. If you are prompted to get alternatives sorted out and prepare yourself a little bit better for the absence of power, how have you got on with that? Let me know. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Yeah, some comments coming in. Spain will be fine. Well, we might have to there are all sorts of implications, aren't there? And let me preface this by notwithstanding the grave situation that the American leadership have brought about in recent days. One of the more in the age of discombobulation, one of the most, to me, one of the oddest, funny little things that happens. Like, well, if you're not going to let us land our planes in your country, we're not going to buy anything from you. And if we want to, we'll do it anyway. That's that sort of thing, which is just hilarious. And if, like me, you are appalled anyway, and have been for decades, about the behavior of global elites and politicians, in a sense, we're seeing a major challenge to that. The rule book is being ripped up, not only ripped up, it's being urinated upon and set fire to and stamped upon, I think, at the moment. These are most extraordinary times, aren't they? And all part of the age of discombobulation, which I speak of on a fairly regular basis at the moment. So we'll come back to that, but just to prime you and cue you with that. And I didn't say cue as some sort of embedded cryptic thing there. I mean, I meant that at face value. Breaking: Trump orders halt to all trade with Spain due to Madrid's refusal to cooperate on Iran strikes. And one of the so let's focus on the humor and tangential aspects of this. One of the funniest responses I saw to that was, well, actually not funny and it's clever and political. Maybe Spain should be rebranded as Spine, taking a position on this and not wishing to be part of that particular action. What do you think? What do you make of that? And if you tuned in because of the mention of leather, it's here, not preparedness. Well, I suppose it's preparedness of a kind. Look, as I hold that up in front of the green screen, it's like, to me anyway, I don't know if you're seeing this, it looks like a swarm of sandflies on the beach. That's like, look, there's a nice day at the beach. There's a day ruined by flies at the beach. That's hilarious. And I hope I don't have too much more of that going on in the background whilst we're trying to open up the leather wallet from Singular that has come in. Portuguese made Singular leather from the maker himself, Jorge Ferreira. The Singular leather wallet that I purchased, you know, the one I was talking about that can be embossed with your own message, that has come through, and I'll open it up. It's not open. We're going to be opening that this morning. Let's see who's here first of all, and a few of your comments and some of the lovely images that have come in. We'll go through those and more music news. If you're a jazz fan, or if you like your music a little bit different and non-mainstream, you've got Ibrahim Malouf coming, and Avishai Cohen Quintet as well. That's an incredible lineup and offer in the capital soon. So much wonderful music. We'll come back and talk a little bit more about them perhaps a little bit later on, but lovely to see that. And the Fatboy Slim message that's still circulating somewhere. I don't know who I sent that to in the end, and whether they'll ever speak to me again, I don't know. So who was in first this morning? Matty. Was Matty banging on the door again at 1 minute to 8? Bom dia, alegria a todos e feliz quarta-feira. Heading out for a longer dog walk, and we'll catch up when I'm back. So I maybe made him wait too long. That's it. I'm going out with the dogs. I too had a lovely dog walk yesterday, Matty. The weather is so much better, is it not? Fantastic. And as I was saying yesterday, when the rain comes, it comes and it goes. And we're back to the spring-like sunshine, which is exactly how we like it. Bon dia Gumpers from Jackie. How you doing, Jackie? How'd you get on with that course? And you didn't send me any pictures of your henna work. Please feel free to do so on 913-590-303. Morning to you both from Pete as well. Matty, if you look at Iran's oil production, not only is it only 2% of total production, like Venezuela, but also 80% of that goes to Asia, where my mates are reporting fuel shortages already. Pete, with his finger on the geopolitical pulse there, I don't know what was said to prompt that, but thank you for that. Interesting info. And we have we'll have a show this morning full of interesting info, hopefully. But that's very interesting, an interesting perspective there, Pete, on the stats there. Bon dia todos, including Matty, Jackie, and Pete. Lovely day yesterday, including an epic lunch up the mountain in Courmayeur, my lord. What a beautiful place that is, right? And we have a video to demonstrate that. It doesn't, as often the case, and you may have found this with a beautiful full moon last night. Cameras can't always do justice to what we see with our human eyes. I think the coach thinks this is one example of that. Thank you nonetheless, though, on a 913-590-303 with your little clip from up there where you had this beautiful lunch yesterday.
Io mi ricordo che mio papà fumava in macchina, non aveva il cinturino di sicurezza, neanche l'appoggiatesta, però non è che fosse più accessibile. Io mi ricordo ancora quando mi portava a Lugano a vedere le vetrine, che vomitavo con la sua Marlboro.
Skiers having lunch. That was over all too quickly. Let me just play that again.
Io mi ricordo che mio papà fumava in macchina, non aveva il cinturino di sicurezza, neanche l'appoggiatesta, però non è che fosse più accessibile. Io mi ricordo ancora quando mi portava a Lugano a vedere le vetrine, che vomitavo con la sua Marlboro.
C'est parfois. I was speaking some French a couple of days ago, actually, with somebody I'm working with who's selling some land around San Martino de Porto. Beautiful site. I'm looking towards into the interior of Alcobaça here, the district thereof, or the locality of Alcobaça. And it was and my colleague who speaks much better French than me, it was lovely hearing it. It was such a beautiful language. Where are you, though? I that sounded a little bit. It wasn't very Parisien, that accent. It sounded a little harsher, perhaps there. I think you're speaking French. Lovely language, and yeah, I surprised myself with my grasp of French and memory of French. A bit like riding a bike, it would appear. It was coming back to me. I was able to understand about 90% of what was going on in fast-paced French, which I think is harder, which is easier to understand than fast-paced Portuguese. That's the problem, isn't it? And I was saying to somebody yesterday, it should be an Olympic sport, high velocity comprehension of Portuguese. That's the most difficult thing about the language, I think, is hearing it spoken by natives at high speed. After you've got past your Hola, bon dia, alegria, or I don't usually say that to people in the street. I said that for here, but Hola, bon dia. And then Hola, bon dia, tudo bem? Como estás? And then there'll be the next bit, which will be very fast and colloquial and hard to understand, where the atmosphere suddenly changes and your Portuguese conversational partner realizes, okay, foreigner, yeah, devagar. Yes, I'll ease up on the colloquialisms and velocity. But that was beautiful. Thank you very much for that, Coach. A lovely part of the world. It would appear Chamonix or nearby. And look, what have we got? Is that the dawn this morning? Thank you for your pickies there. I'm just looking at your message. Oh, the moon rising up over the mountains last night. The photo doesn't do it justice. Yeah, there you go. But beautiful all the same. Thank you very much for that. And bringing us back home to spring-like Portugal. Thank you, Mel. Cheers, Coach. That's some lovely, slightly dewy morning here in Portugal, central Portugal, into the interior a little bit. Not far from the coast, I'm guessing. And a lovely morning. That looks to me so Portuguese, and a lovely spring morning. A little bit of a natural haze, I would like to think as well. Thank you very much, both of you. Any more gratefully received? 913-590-303. Okay, excellent. Who else is here this morning? Oh, where's my Good Morning Portugal overlay? There you are. Right. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Mel. I see Nina Henry also in this morning. Gemini, good to see you too. That sounds fantastic, Ian, says Pete. I wish I didn't resent 11-year-olds speeding past me on a ski slope, but I do. I so prefer it in the summer. Lots of hill walking and schnapps there. So, yes, it's a little kid whizzing past. They've grown up skiing, haven't they? They're not like us, Pete, in London with grey sludge. I mean, imagine you can do a pretty good skid across the playground standing up without skis on. You had to learn how to do that as a kid, didn't you? In England, if you had an icy playground, my goodness, they probably don't let kids do that these days. But can you remember, the really brave kids who would take a massive long run up and then on standing up just in their school shoes would skid across the playground whilst others looked on, agog. Some of them would make it, others would fall to the ground, and the acoustics of the schoolyard as their cranium hit the or other parts, arms and legs hitting the deck, resounding around the playground. Happy times, Gen X, I salute you. Apologies, Matty, 90% of the Gulf's oil goes to Asia, not 80%, even more on the stats there. Geopolitics on the Good Morning Portugal show this morning, and how we're going to help Spain deal with all the the wine, olive oil, and tapas mountain that might not be going to America anymore? And will there be Spanish prohibition parties in the States where people will be drinking olive oil out of teapots? Again, I wonder. I won't be watching too closely today. A worker will be here soon. Dealing with your deck. And I'm almost. It sounds so much worse when, if we were broadcasting in New Zealand. I'm almost done compiling my documents for residency renewal. Well done, T Duck, on that. It's quite the milestone, is it not? Big shout out to Sarah and Heather at Boots on the Ground. They are helping us with the renewal. They've been great. Fantastic. We knew you meant shout out there. Mike as well. Yeah, and do shout out back when you speak to Sarah and Heather. Best regards from the Good Morning Portugal gang and the Gumpers. Bon dia Gumpers from Mike. Good morning to you. I haven't had a picture from you for a while, Mike. Have you got a nice spring morning over there? Swing 913-590-303. Morning all. Give the like button a little rub, folks. Remind it you're awake. And morning everyone from Gemini. Bon dia Malta. Another beautiful day ahead. How was your day at the beach? Take a look at this fantastic picture from Andy, sent to me, I think late during the show yesterday. And a beautiful, we got the tractor poster from, there, a lot of things came in and I didn't save them. I'm seeing them now though, as I'm scrolling through what came in towards the end of the show yesterday. So get those things in early, get the pictures in early if you will. A beauty here of Andeiro walking on the shore, poster boy for the Aveiro district here. This is a great shot. Did we get anything else yesterday? I'm looking on 913-590-303. Thanks for your message, Bobby. Great to hear that the Celtic Sounds Festival is shaping up. Long-term project that, but some great plans there on the banks of the Tejo Celtic Sounds Festival. There's the wonderful picture of Andeiro on the beach. Look at this. Ain't that? No, well, if I get your comment out of the way, I will be able to see it even better. There you go, some Atlantic action. You be careful in there. Mrs. M got soaked again. It's like she didn't learn the first time at Salgado. Very dangerous to be in. She got a real shock, actually, just recently about how quickly that Atlantic water can come in and drench you up to the knees very quickly. When you're thinking, it's miles out, it'll be fine. Just have a little paddle like Andy's doing there. Be very careful when you're exposed to the full force of the Atlantic there. But what a beautiful shot. And very Portuguese. Could be a beautiful sort of Indian Ocean scenario there, but you can see the waves are a little more choppy in the Atlantic there. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much for that. 913-590-303 for those lovely pics. Feeling very spring-like with these wonderful pictures coming in. The sun is returning. Fantastic. A few days into the month-based spring schedule. Looking forward to the equinox, the vernal equinox, 20th of March, as we discovered yesterday as well, thanks to T-Duck. Right, where did we get to? I think Spain will be just fine despite the petulant child. Only 4% of its exports are to the Yanks, probably all orange pigment. Really? Okay. Is that? Oh, I see. That was a joke at the end there, the orange pigment. See what you did there. I wonder if you're American, what do you recall being imported from Spain, or did you just prefer to go to Spain and visit, which you can do now if you're an American living here in Portugal? How wonderful! I know a lot of you are very fond of popping across to Spain. So that particular trade boycott, if you won't let us land your planes in your country, we're not going to buy anything from you ever again. No. Isn't it great that you're American living here and can just pop across the border? But what things come to mind? What Pete's probably right there, isn't he? It will make an impact, won't it? And if it's true, it might have just been another one of those things said in haste and anger. Can you imagine being around Trump though? And oh God, what's he going to say now? I've got to ring Spain up and tell them we're not buying any more of their stuff. Bizarre. Staying with my cousin in Chamonix, though not skiing this week. Oh, okay. So you're up there enjoying that lovely environment. Went through the Mont Blanc tunnel yesterday to have lunch in Cordomeia. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, and we saw the picture there. The Mont Blanc tunnel is nuts. Why? Is it one of those tunnels where you expect to see Bruce Willis running back in the other direction at any moment? Or are you just under there forever? We went solar at our new place. Very good. Okay, my son loves all the technology and all the information on what we're using, what we're making, etc. Very good. So yeah, it is fun, Andy says Pete. So some conversions going on. Energy trans in our community here. Getting off the grid, getting a little bit more independent. Please say more and add to our thread over at the Portugal Club, where we are documenting off-grid preparedness, equipment research and recommendations. I'm reminded I need to get your water purifier link as well in there, Mel, that you sent me. That's an important thing. And if you've got your own water, you do need to make sure and test that it is safe. From Mike to T-Duck, we are doing the same thing, hoping to upload our documents today or tomorrow. It does sound generally like things are getting a little bit easier with IMA. Am I right, or have I spoken too soon there? Especially if you add an electric car, even if it's made by a moron. Other electric cars are available. It's true, Pete, even more so at the moment. Apparently, they're closing it for 3 months for maintenance in the autumn for the next 20 years. Wow. Yes, I guess it would be difficult to do maintenance in a tunnel while people are whistling through there at high speed. A 20-year closure, though, I think that's been bought by an elite billionaire to be turned into to a residence of some sort, right? Bon dia, nice plague of sound. Not real. It's not the latest thing. Don't worry. It was a simulation. Hard to tell the difference these days. Morning to you, Nina and Henry. Is that a Scottish summer filter? It look like a holiday on where are the island Hebrides, the Outer Hebrides? As soon as the big light bulb in the sky comes on, you have a million flesh-eating midges. Look forward to that when I open my wallet in a moment. No, that's moths. Bon dia, Mel. How are you doing, Mel, this morning? We've got electric assisted bikes, Pete, if that counts. Very good. What do you recommend on the electric bike front as well? A lot of people thinking about that. And of course, the scooters, so many scooters. Anyone who invested in scooter stock in the last 2 or 3 years would be quite pleased by now, wouldn't they? They're incredible, these scooters. And of course, we're standing by, aren't we, for the growing story of how dangerous they are. They go at a hell of a speed, don't they? And I imagine there are some modifications you can do with instructions off the dark web to make them go 100 kilometers per hour. But yeah, quite extraordinary. What makes are we recommending for electric assisted bikes for anybody who might be interested in one of those? You can join the Orca Bike Festa on the 24th of May, Andy. That's a possibility for you. It's quite a long range effort endeavor getting over there by electric bike, but who knows, you could do it in stages and also while you're over Orca Way. What have we got here then? The second Paseo de Tartarugas Orca. Is that like tractor procession then? And they have a tractor battle, I believe Pete was saying over there at the wine club the other night. So tractor based fun. How about that? Do you go along on yours, Pete? No disrespect, but I'm not sure you've got something as elaborate as sported or demonstrated, shared in the picture there. And what's that? Is that somebody 6-year-old tractor drivers or 6 to 14-year-old category? Is that children or the age of the tractor? I wonder. There'll be some lovely vintage specimens as well, won't they? Like Lamborghinis and old tractors. Old British tractors, American tractors, there in Orca, 19th of April, everyone, a tractor festival. If it exists, if it exists in Portugal, if it's made or eaten in Portugal, there will be a festa dedicated to it as well. That's amazing. Thank you very much for that, Pete. Keep them coming. 913-590-303. Wonderful. Where did we get to with your lovely comments? There's a spring-like vibe definitely in the air, right? Italian we could hear in the back. Really? Wow. I was sure. C'est parfois. That was a bit of French there, but there you go. That's how our minds work, isn't it? We come to an opinion and an idea, and then we find the evidence to back it up. Guilty as charged, right there. Great example. Pete, I think, thinks we shouldn't worry too much about Spain, but we can still have some fun with it this morning. What does it mean for our Spanish neighbours? Are we going to have to drink more Rioja to help them with a potential wine lake as America pulls out of buying Spanish goods. What else is there? I'm thinking leather. Leather's definitely a theme this morning, is it not? The wine, the food. What other things is Spain famous for making? And of course, the relationship between the Brits and the Spanish is very different to that between the Americans and the Spanish. Tell us more about it, you Americans who are here this morning. Muscles so sore from working on the land this week. I am not farm fit yet, but I suspect you soon will be. No pics of the henna. It's mostly technique and theory for certification. Intense, but last day today. Thank you for asking, Carl. You're so sweet, I could hug you. Well, hopefully you will be able to soon. Oh, it is Italy that you're in there, not France. Chamonix, is that right? Morning, Colin. How are you doing? Hiya, Mel. Is the farm ready for Mel? That's the big question. Yeah, not are you ready for the farm? Great fun. Solar Pete, I should be back in action by then. So maybe he will be cycling over. And the blossom. I think, did you send me the beginnings of the... Yes, I think we can have a blossom diary, which is different to blossom dairy. Does anyone remember blossom dairy? We'll have a blossom diary here. A little peek of blossom, not bosom, a little peek of blossom. It's not just me, is it? Whenever I hear the word blossom. Hold on a minute, Pete. I just need to download this rather than just watch it myself on the show this morning. But there's a peek of blossom from the car. And hopefully, as it appears on the hills, the Gardenia range that we spoke about yesterday, you'll be able to send us more pictures. Here's what we've got so far then from Peter, driving past the Gardenia mountain range yesterday. Let's take a look at the beginnings, what looks like the first dusting of snow on the range in the distance. Hold on a minute. That was a proper dusting. In Italy, as it turns out. Sorry, I thought Chamonix was in France. Chamonix is in Italy. Thank you, Colin, for that. Back home then to central Portugal and the beginnings of the blossom. Pete, that is so romantic. Not the Gardenia range, the blossom of the cherry trees in a cherry tree plantation by the side of the road there, but very beautiful. A lovely pink there. So keep us updated on that if you will. Thank you very much. People are talking about their tractors as well. Matty hasn't gone. We managed to keep him here this morning. Still got a leather reveal to come this morning. Oh, I say, matron. Right. Oh goodness, where do we get up to here in the comments this morning? Yes, Andy might be going over to the bike festival. They are the best kind of sheep. Hold on a minute. What we're talking about sheep again? I wish I could have sheep and goats. No fences here. I don't live on my land to protect them. Lol, Mel. They are the best type of sheep, not mine. I didn't realize that sheep only sleep 4 hours a day and they can sleep standing up. That is such a great skill, is it not? Although I think I'll be able to do that quite soon, the way I'm perfecting my siesta and sleeping techniques. Good morning, Helen. That's a lovely photo, is it not? Bon dia to you. Pete, you've really got it in for sheep, haven't you? Met a buddy at the beach yesterday and we had a fantastic lunch. Pig's ears, I wonder, Andero. What did you have? Come on, you can't just tell us things like that here in Portugal without saying what you had and what it cost, perhaps. I'm back, Gumpers. That was a quick walk. What did I miss? We missed you, Matty. We're talking about you while you were out. Dimitri has more undercover information on Ima. Oh, gosh, yes. We spoke to him, didn't we? And the Russian interference with the back office, in a good way, of Ima there and some Russian techies getting involved behind the scenes at Ima. What else have we got? Do I need to get in touch with him? There is a smell. Tales from the train. That was one of my favorite clips, I think, on as an Instagram or Facebook reel last year. Somebody passing wind on an aeroplane. Perhaps the same thing as has happened here this morning for Capricorn Chris and His Majesty's public transport of the United Kingdom. I was going to say, tell us more. Actually, don't bother. I think we get the gist, as you have done this morning. Will your tractor break down again, as it did with the first Paseo de Torres? Oh, yep, we have the video of the first one on Gary's channel. Under sixes are free and get a t-shirt and food and drink all day, but only if they bring their tractor. No, that's not true. All of them do. I won't make the fatal mistake of cleaning the radiator and unclogging the structurally integral dirt that was holding it together this time. Bit of tractor trouble by the sound of it then. The leather from Casa de Pelage in Caldas is of excellent quality, as nice or better than leather from Texas. I didn't know you were a leather aficionado. All made in Portugal. I'm going to show you some Portuguese made leather in just a moment. We're going to compare notes on preparedness as well. And any more comments about the Spanish boycott by Trump? Can't land my planes in your country, so I'm not going to buy any more of your stuff. Are Spain going to be all right, folks? And we might have to help. We might have to step in and make up for that loss with our neighbours across the border. Only use the rain for cleaning a tractor. Yes. Diane's videography is probably not aided by my... Yes, you were hurtling along there, but we got the gist. We got the sense of colour, Pete, and as well as high speed. Not cherry. I think it's peach trees. Correction from Matty there. Cherry will take a bit more time to blossom. Okay. Chamonix is in France. Oh, yeah. Then when you go through the Mont Blanc tunnel, you are in Italy. Thank you for that clarification. Sheep are always looking for new ways to die. Oh dear, that's it's like it's sort of its own ongoing zombie movie, isn't it? The life of a sheep. Gary, good morning to you. Nice to see you here. Quick walk, 4 kilometers in 1 hour. Oh yes, you sent that message earlier on, didn't you? All right, Matty. Sorry. In some exercise and some exercises along the route as well. Were you doing a few thrusts and squats? Oh, there's the German again, out walking his dog, making some strange noises behind the hedge. But don't worry, he's just doing a few exercises along the way. Mrs. Duck has a leather jacket from Casa de Pelage, the House of Skins. Whoa. I have several backpacks, sling packs, wallets, jewelry boxes. We can have a look at my... Love nice leather. We finally caved in and ordered Starlink after terrible signal for weeks, bringing you all on my dog walk this morning. No shame there. Needs must, right? Not needs must. Needs must. I think, fair enough. Weigh it up, but you still got to do the thing that's right for you. I can't imagine being ideologically proud but having no internet. If your business depends on it, it's probably not a great choice. There's probably a Portuguese saying, isn't there? The great pride wears off quickly when you don't have any internet. Something like that, that traditional and ancient Portuguese saying. We'll look at a few more of those. I got leather from riding motorcycles. Okay, all this talk of leather. Let's do it, shall we? Thank you, Jorge Ferreira. I ordered this. It must have been about a week ago, and not complaining, just saying. It's calma, typical sense of Portuguese pace here. None of you, if you want it by drone this afternoon, you can pay extra. No, it came via CTT. No sandflies just yet, and it's so great here in Portugal. I now know the name of the young Brazilian postman. Shout out to Derek, who sometimes rings me to say, I've got a parcel for you and I'll be there in about half an hour. Isn't that fantastic? Get the PIN ready. I'm not talking about some strange fetish, as in the PIN number. He with CTT. And I have to say, CTT, I have this sense of mistrust or concern if I know something's coming by CTT from previous dealings with them. And all that stuff, when people were sending things, I think a lot of it is about importation, isn't it? And things that got sent from the UK to us and never arrived. And then, the awful business of how a T-shirt you might have bought in US or sent from US, it now has a €300 tax charge on it, and the T-shirt only costs €3 or something. So all of that is like, ew, a CTT, really? However, just recently with the PIN system and the excellent Brazilian Derek, bringing these things and ringing me up when he's in the neighborhood, they've gone up a whole lot in my estimation. So well done, CTT, operating since the 18th century, I believe, here in Portugal. Yes, and some people still say some of those letters are still circulating in the system. Let's open this, shall we? Sorry about the flies in the background. It's like I'm doused in Portuguese wine and surrounded by flies. Little bit of paperwork from George there. Does that say anything? Is there a letter, a handwritten letter of thanks and acknowledgement? It's my singular leather wallet receipt, and it's coming out the bag now, folks. Here we go. Oh, it's in a nice little box. And, oh, look at that. It does say Obrigado, Carl. And presumably, maybe cumprimentos or something like that from George. That is lovely. It's hand acknowledged. Sorry, yeah, handwritten acknowledgement there. I don't suppose he had loads ready with Carl on them. That's fantastic, George. With a nice brown card and the singular leather business card there and a handwritten thank you. That is lovely. And here it is. We're coming to the unboxing now. More brown leather. It smells great too. So it's in a nice sheath. Leather and the sound of leather and sheath this morning on the Good Morning Portugal show. So it is sheathed in a sleeve like that. Isn't that great? Cool. And then it's coming out. I ordered yellow. I'm loving this. And we don't have a swarm of sandflies behind us. Look at that. Very nice indeed. I'm swapping over. I'll show you my that's my 8,000 kicks hemp wallet, also made in Portugal. And as you can see, few too many cards in there, bulging. So hopefully the leather will help with the bulge. And look, are those instructions there? I guess they are in a way, aren't they? Singular leather wallet. Do like the styling, George, of your whole setup and get up here. That's nice. I think that's a little bit of a. Oh yeah, opening and closing instructions there. Real nice. Look, nice illustration. And there we are. I put my NIF number on there. The business NIF number, because that's the most important one now. Isn't that nice? I love that. Has he sent it with a load of cards in it already? So I am just pulling it out of the elastic there. Handmade here in Portugal. Oh, I've got a blocking card. I'm thinking this is a way of it goes in the wallet to stop your wallet being read and the cards there in it. How about that? A blocking card. And I think what you do is you put the card you want to use in the elastic there, and that one will work, and the blocking card goes in front of the others at the back. So just opening it out for you. So that's the lid or the front of the case. You can open it up that way and then see what's inside here. Oh, there's something else as well. Love that. Looking forward to using that later on today. I'll be going to the cafe with my new wallet. Front slot, back pocket. Love it. And this, I don't know what this is that's coming in. Singular as well. Look, does it come with a pre-installed condom in the wallet as well? I don't think that's what that is. Let's have a look. So just going to open the singular. I don't want to break that sticker. Oh no, I can do it without doing that. There you go. Turning into an AMSR. Oh, spare elastics should I need them. I guess with a lot of opening and closing, that might be the weak spot, might it not? The leather will stand up to that with a kind of natural hinge. But there you go. Should you need new twanging elastic, you could repurpose that elsewhere, could you not, if you wanted to? And what you do in the privacy of your own home is your business. There you go. Spare elastics as well. I have a new wallet made here in Portugal in leather and embossed with whatever I wanted, and I went with the NIF number on the front there. Love that. Thank you, George. Great work. Much appreciated. Now in my sweaty palm. Thank you very much. That's wonderful. Excellent stuff. Okay, thank you, George. And singular leather. Wonderful stuff. We will come back to preparedness. Just a quick sniff. Oh, that does smell great as well. Yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to that in use there. Brilliant. And need to learn more about this blocking card here. What a great idea. Spare elastics too. Yes, me too then, T-Duck. Love nice leather. Live unboxing opening here on Good Morning Portugal this morning. Yeah, Matty, of course, leather for riding motorcycles. I'm happy to go and buy a couple of extra Spanish products each week. Let's all do that to make up the US absence. According to Pete, though, it's not a massive amount. I suppose when you add it all up, and yeah, this is it's like American people who just like buying Spanish things are going to be hit by this reaction, and Spanish businesses, big and small, especially the small ones, struggling, suffering with like many small producers are with all this tariff business. Um, I remember I was listening to the American correspondent of LBC, not the London Broadcasting Company anymore, but the largest British constipation. I don't know, whatever it stands for, LBC. Simon Marks is over in Washington, and he was saying, I don't know what to do first. Do I go and fill up with gas, or do I run to the Spanish shop and buy Rioja and olives? He was saying last night. Just trying to get a measure, really, of what the Americans do buy from Spain. You might be able to help with that in the chat this morning. Absolutely love our excellent cat office. They are fantastic. Oh, CTT. Absolutely love our excellent CTT office, says Pete. They are fantastic and always tell us when we have post waiting. Fantastic, CTT. When Mrs. Duck returns home from the US, we're shopping in Seville. I need to stock up on sherry. So there you go. One American favorite there from Spain, the sherry, of course. Yes, no internet and a staff team that fails to meet expectations. Back to in-person temporarily as Mr. J heads back to UK to oversee next week. Right, okay. That's not good, is it? So your Starlink will come pretty soon, I think. Mine did, and it's very easy to set up. You'll be able to just improvise straight away by laying it out on your garden, basically, before you stick it up on the roof or wherever it ultimately is heading. More about that in a moment. Given up shopping from Amazon Spain, Pack are probably purloining things. Allegedly, they said they hadn't delivered a 5G router, and they hadn't. They said they had, and they hadn't. Amazon refusing to refund. Oh, what a drag! That is Helen. My CTT guy rings me first too, and Posty got a shock when I replaced my door, which had the postal slot in it, and he just knocked on my door to hand me my letter. Fantastic. Temu boast of using CTT. So they must know about the Amazon problems. That's interesting. Temu, that they seem to be or have recovered their reputation as well, have they not? Amazon Spain is horrible, and Pack is the worst carrier. So if you do see that combo, fun facts you need to know, not such a fun fact, but a fact that you need to know here on the Good Morning Portugal show. If you're ordering from Amazon Spain and Pack is the courier, maybe think twice and find an alternative. Park are probably stealing. I'm not the only victim in Tamar. Well, that's horrible to hear. And hopefully they'll employ someone to oversee and change that. They can't keep trading on a reputation of that kind. Pack have lost at least 5 of my items from Amazon. That's terrible. Temu and CTT work for us, says Pete. We had 6 3-meter square carpets delivered. Wow. Amazon has always refunded immediately, and they tell me I can keep the item if it ever arrives. Of course, they never do. Amazon has the same products as Temu, but with Bezos tax added. A little bit of consumer news just in from Pete. Never tried Temu. Mrs. M seems to use it and is happy with that. Temu. Amazon say I violated their returns and refunds. I had 2 claims last year, both with Pack, saying they delivered when they didn't. Both items easy to sell on eBay. What a drag. Point is, the decision is being made by a robot. Welcome to the world we live in, right? It's going to be great with AI. If they saw how much I've spent over 25 years, they'd know I was genuine. What a sad situation that is. Yes, that it hasn't been encoded into AI yet, has it? Loyalty and getting a sense of human beings through other means other than numbers. And well, I suppose it is a numbers thing if you've been shopping for 25 years, but that intuition is a program yet to be installed in some of these robot decisions, and perhaps it never will be. Honestly, they're great. T-Duck, that's Temu. Maybe being considered by T-Duck as we speak. T-Duck on Temu. Yes, Bezos and other oligarchs trying not to buy US at the moment. Most of Amazon stuff comes from CTT or DPD. DPD, both good. Only had 1 Pack in 7 years and was dreadful. Pack getting a right slamming and slating this morning. If you want a right to reply, Pack, and you feel unjustly treated by the Gumpers this morning, you know the number or the way to. Oh yeah, I've just created a Calendly actually. If you want to book yourself in to be a guest on the Good Morning Portugal show, I do believe forgot about this yesterday, that this QR code, top right hand corner, is a way of creating your interview with Carl Munson. I think, yes, that QR code, if you want to try it, should take you through to my Calendly. And yeah, so I'm just throwing it open actually to anyone who wants to come and talk about what they do on the Good Morning Portugal show. Made it nice and easy. Just book yourself in and we'll see you on the show. And you can do that with a QR code there. And I'll be doing other promotion. And when I released the QR code, well, not the QR code, the Calendly link yesterday in a business WhatsApp group that I'm in, I think 4 people booked in straight away. It was great. So it looks like that's a really good way of doing things. New guests, new ideas, new products, new services here in Portugal. If you want to come and tell us about yours, use the QR code on the screen and book in the appointment to do so. Fantastic stuff. Right. Yeah. On this matter of the preparedness, we do have a thread over on the Portugal Club. Let me just bring that onto the screen here. And a quick cough. This is my winter cough and congestion. It will go as soon as summer and spring are here. There you go. And half a mug of cold tea as well. Maybe I can get something off Temu that keeps my tea warm. There must be such a thing, right? Like a hot plate that I can put my tea in for the rest of the show. Or get a Teasmade in here. The Teasmade is bound to make a comeback. Although all you would need to do, I think, is automate and create some sort of timing device to go on one of those coffee machines, a pod coffee machine. It's got so much easier now. I think when Teasmades were first coming out, it was even pre-tea bag, wasn't it? So what a mess it must have been by many bedsides in 60s and 70s UK, and so many scalding injuries as well. It's a whole lot easier now, I suspect, to make a tea or a coffee's made to go next to your bed, but they didn't really catch on for some reason. Don't know why. Okay, this link on the screen, or we'll share on the screen, our preparedness resources over at the Portugal Club. I think I've already put the link in there. There's information about Starlink there should you need it. And if you've got information about particular products, what you're using, off-grid radios, very happy with my setup. What I need to do a little list on here of what I've invested in. But for sure, the Bluetti is the heart of this system. I've got the Elite 100 here I'm looking at. It's running the show at the moment. Literally running the show. There's no input. It's got 30% of its battery left, and it's outputting 100 watts. Hey, can I put the other camera on just to prove that to you? I think I can. The extra camera. Let me just put the USB. Yeah, there you go. I'm just going to put this on the screen for you now. That's the Bluetti running things, as you can see there. If I put that onto big screen, yeah, there you go. Just as I said, no input. The Elite 100, the white plug you can see here, this one, that is, look, and the reflection of the microphone, just to prove that it's live, waving to you in the reflection. This white plug here, that is everything from the studio is plugged into that 4-way there, including lighting, the CPU, the PC, the sound card is driven from that. I think there's on the screen and a screen as well. So that's taking up 124 watts, which is pulling from the battery, as you can see there. And of course, to save energy, the Bluetti turns its display off, so we can't watch that continuously. So yeah, the Bluetti is the heart of this system. I think, I mean, go through this with me, but I think I've got everything I need. I could go out in the garden with all of this, or to some other location and not need to be connected into the mains. With the Bluetti giving the power, could put a solar panel on. That's next, actually. The best solar panel to go into the Elite 100 here, 1800 watts and 1024 watt hours. It's funny, these numbers that recur, right? 1024, that's a familiar thing. Isn't that a screen resolution as well? But yeah, that will be the heart of my power. And I've got the Starlink lying over on the other side of the room. I have had that out hanging on the Velux window, and it does work. and it's very easy to install, I have to say. And it cost me €20 to first order the Starlink, and they sent the standard kit and the router, power supplies, etc. And you don't start paying for the service, which you install via a very good app to help you with the orientation and setup of the panel itself. And only when you're online and set up do they start charging you. And it's €40 it's costing me per month to have the Starlink. And the speeds were pretty good, even without an optimal setup. So I think I'm ready to go. I've got my little radio as well, which is a torch. That's been snaffled by my youngest, who is recreating the old days of listening to, well, it means something now to have a tranny in your bed, does it not? When we were kids, having a tranny in your bed meant that you were probably listening to a really bad sounding AM radio station, pirate radio show of some sort, or even one of the terrestrial ones, one of the legit ones. But yeah, the little transistor radios are very good with their rechargeable batteries, crank handles. The one I got was a bit of a Temu moment. It was much smaller than I thought it might be when it arrived in real life. But we've got that now. I realized my PA, my Bose PA, has a massive battery in it as well. That saw us through the power outage that we had that lasted a little while here and prompted me to do all of this and take the next step. So actually, yeah, the next thing is going to be an input, an off-grid input. I don't think it's going to be a wind turbine. I think it's going to be a solar panel for this. And we've lost 1% of the battery whilst we've been talking. But isn't that amazing? I'm absolutely loving this. And it is great fun. As you were saying about your son there, Andy, isn't it great to look at the numbers and see what's going on and tinker with the system, like having a great big electronics kit that you also had when tranny meant something different in your bed. Right. Let's see what you're saying about all of this. Where have you got up to with your own preparedness? Thank you, Mel. You've been a great help with this sort of thing, including that water tester, which I must put in that list as well. Where do we get to in the chat? QR codes are awesome, says Pete. Hold on a minute. We missed out, though. Or we're still talking about CTT, DPD, and PAC, aren't we? Remember, says Mel, it is not Amazon who give the refund. They take it from the merchant. Same with credit card insurance by banks. Banks take the money from merchants without notice or recourse. Tell me it's not so. The tech bro, oligarch, billionaires, and banks are sticking it to, well, they're taking it out on the little guy. I can't believe it. Okay, thanks, Mel. Yep, that makes complete sense. QR codes. Thank you, Jackie. What a great suggestion. QR codes are awesome, especially if you want to share your contact details. I learned how to use it in Cambodia last year. I'm not a complete convert. I did that because I could, because it's a StreamYard feature, but I've got a Calendly link as well, should anyone want to do that. And perhaps that's what I should put into the chat. So if you're watching this later and you are new to the show and you want to come on and talk about what you do, this is the way to do that. Also, by the way, if you want to start a podcast or restart a podcast, I'll record the first one with you free of charge to get you into podcasting or back into podcasting. And then if you want to work with me on an ongoing basis, we can talk about that. But I love podcasting, live streaming. Been doing it for years. Happy to help you with that. I believe my QR code for booking a session with me is in the chat. I've made a load of slots available to do that. You can use a flask, mate. Of course, I was overthinking it, was I not? Yes, there are thermos mugs, no rocket science needed. Yeah, thank you very much. And Colin, who's here, reminded me of that joke of a gentleman going into a sex shop to buy a certain device as a present for his partner and said, I rather like that one at the end of the shelf there in tartan with the white cap. The man in the sex shop says, you can't have that. That's my thermos flask anyway. The old ones are the oldest, are they not? Part of the reason, did you want me to out you with that joke, Colin? I wonder. Well, sorry, too late. I was distancing myself slightly. Part of the reason I ditched my online business, I could prove delivery to client when they disputed, and the bank still took the money out of my account. Well, come on, Donny. Isn't it time you turned on the banks next who are doing these things? So yeah, use your temper and your ire and stick it to the man. I thought there was some talk of that, Donny. Come on, you can do it. If your business is successful, Amazon contact your suppliers and then usurp you, virtually impossible to beat them. It's disgraceful, isn't it? But, bless them. They're probably not making enough money. Very true, Solo. Glad I never had an Amazon biz. Oh, my God. It's so depressing to hear that, isn't it? My missing 5G router was an Amazon product, not a reseller. They chose who delivers and they don't ask the courier for proof. That sucks. Amazon are breaking EU law, but I found there's no way to get help from the EU either. It's a long story. My goodness. I've lived months on my land in a van using the Bluetti and some solar in summer with gas camp stove, but need other input in the winter. Very good. Thanks for that update. The world is global, thankfully. The stranglehold that businesses like Amazon and Airbnb are slowly slipping. Yeah, it's all about evolution, isn't it? It's only ever a matter of time, but we shall see what happens. Finalmente, Barracks here. Hola, bon dia from Lord and Lady Travanca. Thank you very much to you for popping in this morning as we come up to the last minutes of the Good Morning Portugal show, where if I had a thermos flask, I would be pouring myself some more hot tea. That is such a good idea, but I suppose I'm a bit of a slave and a victim to my penchant for this German, I think it's a German designed ceramic made here in Portugal. Unfortunately, the earlier one I had with a little heart on it fell onto the ceramic worktop. And we know what happens here in Portugal when your ceramics fall on the unforgiving surfaces sometimes here. So Mrs. M bought me a new one. Isn't that a beauty? Lovely speckled finish on that. But yeah, great idea. I'm going to have to look at, whilst I'm here for an hour in the morning, I am going to have to take a look at a thermos flask. But I won't order it on Amazon and have it delivered by pack. Okay, point taken. That horse is beautiful, Barak, and I believe it may well be one of Barak's horses right there. Excellent stuff. Thank you for being with me here this morning. Finally, then, another quick look at the Bluetti that's powering up the show. You can see nothing on the input, down to 35%. We've squandered 3% of the supply, still outputting around 120 watts for powering up the Good Morning Portugal system this morning. Time for you to get a GMP thermos mug. It's true. It's true. I thought there would have been a better reception for Colin's joke as well, quite frankly. But anyway, that is a great idea. Thank you, Matty, and to Jackie as well. Will it have that taste that we remember from the 70s? It actually tastes like the 70s, doesn't it? The thermos flask residue. If I'm going to have one for myself, I'm going to have to just keep it with one particular beverage, aren't I? You can't mix and match in a thermos, I think. Is everyone tasting that right now? The familiar taste of the inside of a thermos flask that they remember from way back when? Right. Oh, is that a mug in a full... No, it's not. The taste of thermos and the smell of PVC sounds like a great night out. Going back to the Portugal Club then, and the latest of the Portugal Club Portuguese sayings from the great Antonio F. Thanks, mate, for all your lovely work. Signs of spring. We've got pinned to the timeline there. Information on starting your own school, SKOOL. They are doing great work. Every week, School News brings new features. It's such a great platform. Well done to Sam and the team. Here we are, above criminal facts in Portugal. Portuguese saying of the day. Let's go to the latest one. Are we talking about 700 of these? I think we are now. It's the youth season. Oh, my goodness. I haven't been or liked any of these for ages. I'm going on a rampage of appreciation for Antonio F. here. A little bit of Portuguese vocab for you. Joining hunger with the appetite. Okay. Juntar-se a fome à vontade de comer. Juntar-se ao útil ao agradável. Joining the useful with the pleasant, meaning combining business and pleasure. How you say that in Portugal is juntar-se ao útil. So agradável. Junto à panela que ferve, now faltam amigos. There's no shortage of friends around a boiling pot. Isn't that lovely? Fantastic. Loving these, Antonio. Justiça tardia, now é justiça. Justiça tardia não é justiça. Late justice is not justice. That's a favorite around the world, I think, isn't it? Justice delayed is justice denied. Yeah, absolutely. Juventude desordenada faz velhice atribulada. Nice little rhyming ring to that. Who doesn't like a rhyming ring first thing in the morning? A disorderly youth makes for a troubled old age, as some of us are discovering. And finally, then, Juventude leviana faz velhice desolada. A frivolous youth makes for a desolate old age. My goodness. It's kind of FAFO, isn't it? In chronological terms there. If you're a frivolous youth, yeah, that might make for a desolate old age. You'll find out eventually, right? Very good. No, good morning to you. Antonio Ferreira is rocking. He is, isn't he? Nice to see you, mate. Good morning, dear community from Nuno. How are you? Tudo bem? And I don't know how you're responding to the news of the American boycott of Spanish goods. Nuno, we have to do our bit and eat that little and drink that little bit extra Spanish stuff. Decathlon have good metal thermos mugs with lids. Thank you. Decathlon Spanish. They're global, aren't they? They're an incredibly global brand. I think French, quite possibly, but they're all over the world and enjoying quite the expansion. And as we found out when we were researching thermals, some brilliant and very well-priced products. Don't need thermals anymore. I'm saying goodbye to thermals. Spring is here. That's when you officially take them off, according to Hugh. Should wash them once a week and get rid of them altogether come spring. There we go, down to 34 degrees. The Bluetti Elite 100, 1800 watts of power is keeping us going there. It's an uninterruptible power supply, and it's doing us proud with the lighting, the computer, and the screen, and the sound card this morning on Good Morning Portugal. I think you're right there, Matty. Thank you for your company this morning. Take care. Bye for now, and a ciao, ciao.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need